Welcome to the Pride Ceremony and Flag Raising 2024. First of all, I want to thank our Board of Selectmen for being here. Kevin Beal, Curtis Looney, Steve Antonio, Diana Yeisley, our State Representative Melissa Osborne, our DEI Chairperson Cheryl Cook. We have a lot of town staff here in the audience. Please wave your flags, town staff. Wow. Okay. So I have a few comments to open the ceremony. Just wanted to talk about how I attended Simsbury High School. Oops, this is rolling away. Simsbury High School's graduation Friday night, and I started to reflect on how the world is different since I graduated 50 years ago in June of 1974. There was no such thing as internet, Instagram, iPhones, texting, or any information at your fingertips. It was also a time when anyone that fell under the LGBTQ umbrella had no way to show who they truly were and to get public acceptance. Friends that I had in high school who were gay or lesbian had to keep it to themselves. And none of us really knew what it meant or really thought about it. So that has all changed, and we live in a better place today, where who you are as a person, who you choose to love as a partner, how you choose to share who you are, doesn't and shouldn't matter. It's not political, as it seems, as some seem to be trying to make it in communities outside of Simsbury. It's just acceptance and inclusion of a person's choice in who you love and how they want to share it. I honestly don't understand some of the talking points that are out there about recruiting, grooming, or trying to indoctrinate people to change their sexual or gender identity. It's who you are. I don't feel the need to convince anyone that they should join the ranks of us women. Yikes. Okay. According to the ACLU, there are hundreds of pieces of legislation posed by some states that are aimed at taking away the rights of the LGBTQ community. But Connecticut is not one of them, and I'm proud to live in a state that upholds people's rights and freedoms and tries to protect them rather than to attempt to claw them back. We've seen the damage that that can do. As you've probably read, there have been some local issues around flag raising among our neighboring municipalities and across the country. We've been doing our best here to keep that discord out of our community, but it appears there's some who want to question this tradition in Simsbury since 21 that's been supported by both of our parties. So at least for today, let's celebrate raising the pride flag here at Town Hall below our beautiful waving American flag. To quote my good friend Elton John, we mustn't let increasing discriminatory legislation taking place around the world hold us back. Let's lead with acceptance and joy this Pride Month and encourage everyone to be who they are and to love who they love without shame or fear. With that, I'm going to turn this over to Diana Yeisley to read the proclamation that our full Board of Selectmen has signed. You want to hold or?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Proclamation recognizing Pride Month in Simsbury. Whereas the town of Simsbury is committed to supporting the visibility, dignity, and equity for everyone in our community and affirms our obligation to protect the most vulnerable among us. Whereas Simsbury recognizes the contributions of LGBTQ+ residents, students, employees, and business owners to the cultural and civic fabric of our town and remains committed to protecting their civil rights in our unified efforts to forge a more open and just society. Whereas advancements have been made with respect to equitable treatment of LGBTQ+ people throughout the nation, but there continues to be discrimination, injustice, and acts of hate, making it important for towns like Simsbury to stand up and show support for members of our community who identify as LGBTQ+. Whereas Simsbury joins many cities and towns across the United States in recognizing and celebrating June as LGBTQ+ Pride Month as a commitment to standing in solidarity with all LGBTQ+ Americans. Whereas the rainbow flag is widely recognized as a symbol of pride, inclusion, and support for social movements that advocate for LGBTQ plus people in society. Whereas the Pride Walk along Iron Horse Boulevard serves as Simsbury's ongoing and unwavering commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Whereas we ask for and encourage everyone to reflect on ways we can all live and work together with a commitment to mutual respect and understanding. Therefore, be it resolved, we, the Board of Selectmen, hereby proclaim June 2024 as Pride Month in Simsbury, Connecticut, in support of our LGBTQ plus community. Be it finally resolved that Simsbury will hold a ceremony recognizing all LGBTQ plus members of our community whose influence, advocacy, and contributions to our neighborhoods make the town of Simsbury a vibrant community in which to live, work, and play. In witness thereof, we have placed our signatures and the Great Seal of the town of Simsbury, dated the 13th day of May, 2024, signed by Wendy McStudis, First Selectman, Stephen Antonio, Deputy First Selectman, Heather Getz, Selectman, Kevin Beal, Selectman, Diana Yaisley, Selectman, and Curtis Looney, Selectman.
They clap for me.
I'll take my flag up.
I'm sorry, but did you clap when I finished my speaking? No, I'm kidding. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to next turn it over to our state rep, Melissa Osborne, to say a few words. Didn't I tell you that?
That's okay. I'm very good at speaking impromptu. Thank you very much, Wendy and Diana, for your words today. I want to say how proud I am to live in Simsbury, Connecticut. As many of you know, I have been door knocking this town for a long time now. And over the course of these 10 years that I have spent knocking on the doors of each and every one of our neighbors, it seems like, I've got to tell you, there's been a real change in how our residents feel comfortable with being here and being who they are. And that has so much to do with how we, as this quaint little New England town, have chosen to embrace the diversity, the equity, the inclusion, and the rights of the LGBTQ here in Simsbury. I will not forget knocking at the door of some new residents. It was 2 or 4 years ago, one of those campaigns. And they were a new couple to town, and they proudly told me that they were married same-sex couple, and that they had chosen to come to Simsbury specifically because of the news they had seen about our Pride Walk. And they knew that this was a place that would welcome them and welcome their children. And as a family member of someone in the LGBTQ community, I can't tell you how warming that is to my heart to know that we as a town and as a community have embraced this change with wholehearted openness and love. I'm disappointed that this year we're seeing some pushback to that here in our town, which unfortunately reflects some of the national discord that we're seeing going on. But I have every confidence in the members of this community and the Simsbury residents to rally together for love and acceptance and to protect one another and stand up for what is right. And what is right is acceptance, love, and inclusion. And I can't tell you how proud I am of Simsbury and how proud I am of our community for being a place that supports all of the above. So thank you very much for including me today.
Thank you. Thanks, Melissa. Okay, I'm going to introduce our DEI Commissioner, Cheryl Cook. But before I turn the mic over to her, Cheryl was on the Board of Selectmen for how many years, Cheryl?
6.
For 6 years. And in her last term, I believe, the full Board of Selectmen felt the need to show their support of Pride and painted the Simsbury Pride on the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail. I believe it's now also the East Coast Greenway. And I'm sure we're all familiar with it. And it was a town event that we all participated in. It was an amazing time. And they also put the flags up along Iron Horse. So we attribute that to the board that Cheryl was on and her leadership. And so with that, I'm going to turn this over to Cheryl as the DEI commissioner.
I have my helper selectman here.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Here you go, Cheryl.
Supposed to not dump her over though.
Yeah. If he dumps me over, you are all witnesses. Thank you, Wendy, and thank you all for being here. This is a very important event to me. And this pride flag is a symbol of diversity, inclusion, and progress towards a greater acceptance of all of us as human beings. Because after all, we're all different. Not one of us is the same as the person next to us, and we have to respect that. I was honored to be part of the administration that painted the rainbow crosswalk. And I mean literally, we were on the ground with paintbrushes and spray cans painting that crosswalk. And we raised the rainbow banners on Iron Horse Boulevard. Today we raised this flag in Simsbury as a symbol of our commitment to being a welcoming community. The mission of the DEI Council is to encourage understanding through conversation and listening, and to make all of our residents feel welcome. Celebrating diversity in all of its forms makes Simsbury a stronger community. I'm going to put in a shameless plug here. Our community will come together again on Saturday to celebrate Juneteenth, another part of our celebration of diversity. So don't miss it. Simsbury Meadows, Saturday, 1 to 5. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks. Thank you, Cheryl. If I get out of class early on Saturday, I'll be there. So with that, I want to say a couple more things. The first time I spoke here, I shared a perspective from my niece's, Rebecca's partner, Bridget. Both are UConn grads from out of state who were on the field at every football game in the marching band at UConn. I want to give them a shout out as they got engaged this year. And that's why these outward-facing celebrations and symbols are important. They send a clear message to the LGBT community that Simsbury is a safe place. Children growing up here see that they'll be loved regardless of how they identify, and families looking to move here see that they'll be welcomed. We should be about uniting and celebrating all members of our community. So I'm wishing all of you a happy Pride Month, and let's raise the flag. Okay. We could all raise it, but let's have Steve pull on it. Okay, with that, everyone is welcome to go home for dinner, out for a cocktail, spend your money on Simsbury's Hot Meadow Street. But really, 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 we appreciate you being here tonight. It means a lot to all of us. Thank you.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.